Welcome back to LMX. Today we're diving deep into one of South Africa's most pressing political questions. Will the African National Congress, the ANC, be brought down by its own internal factions? With the ANC's vote share now hovering around 40% and splinter groups emerging from its own ranks, we need to ask, can this once unassailable liberation movement overcome the divisions that now threaten its power? In this video, we'll unpack how internal currents, like the RET faction that spawned the MK party, and the radical roots of the economic freedom fighters fit into the bigger picture of ANC decline. Let's get into it. For decades, the ANC was synonymous with South Africa's liberation struggle and post-apartheid governance. Its history is steeped in unity and revolutionary fervor. But as South Africa's challenges evolved, from economic inequality to the fallout from corruption and state capture, the party's internal cohesion began to fray. Over time, divergent ideologies and power struggles emerged, splitting the ANC's broad coalition into competing factions. During the 1990s and 2000s, the ANC held an almost unchallenged grip on power. Yet by the 2010s, mounting dissatisfaction over corruption and ineffective governance set the stage for internal fractures. One of the most striking examples of these internal divisions is the RET faction, short for Radical Economic Transformation. Historically, the ANC dabbled with radical economic ideas, but in the years leading up to recent elections, one faction pushed these ideas further than others. Critics argue that this RET wing, which championed policies many deemed too radical, played a key role in reducing the ANC's vote share to roughly 40%. This internal dissent eventually culminated in a split. Many members left to form the MK party, a new force led by former President Jacob Zuma. The MK party tapped into long-held grievances, claiming that the ANC had abandoned its revolutionary promise in favor of a more centrist, compromising approach. In doing so, it redirected support away from the ANC, contributing significantly to the historic loss of its parliamentary majority. Another key player is the Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF. While on the surface the EFF appears as a radical opposition party, its origins are closely tied to the ANC. Founded in 2013 by Julius Malema, once a leader in the ANC Youth League, the EFF is in many ways an ideological descendant of the ANC. The EFF's platform demands land expropriation without compensation and the nationalization of key industries. These radical ideas were once part of the ANC's own revolutionary rhetoric. Over time, as the ANC moved towards more moderate policies to secure broader appeal and international investment, the EFF's unabashed radicalism resonated with many South Africans who felt that the ANC had strayed from its roots. This internal contradiction, where the ANC's base still clings to its revolutionary past, highlights the challenge the party now faces. Can the ANC reconcile its centrist governance with the lingering demands of its more radical offshoots? Looking ahead, the ANC faces several challenges. First, there's the need for deep introspection. The party must address the contradictions between its liberation legacy and the practical needs of a modern, diverse society. This involves not only tackling corruption and mismanagement, but also finding a way to merge the competing ideological strands within its ranks. Second, coalition politics now add another layer of complexity. With the ANC's vote share reduced to 40%, it must negotiate power with other parties, a sharp departure from its previous near monopoly. In some coalition talks, internal factions have even supported alternatives like the EFF or MK, which only deepens the internal rifts. Finally, the electorate is watching. South Africans demand concrete policy actions and accountability. If the ANC fails to deliver, its support will likely dwindle further. But there's also a counter-argument. The ANC has repeatedly proven its ability to unite disparate groups and overcome adversity. If it can harness its internal debates as a catalyst for renewal, it might emerge not only intact, but even better positioned to lead South Africa into the future. In conclusion, the future of the ANC is far from set in stone. The internal fractures, the radical RET faction that gave birth to the MK party and the revolutionary roots of the EFF, pose serious challenges to the party's long-held dominance. Yet there's also a chance for transformation. The ANC may use this moment of crisis to reform itself, reconcile its competing visions, and restore public trust. Ultimately, the big question is, can the ANC build bridges between its diverse factions to forge a unified path forward, or will internal dissent lead to its fragmentation? We want to hear from you. What do you think? Will the ANC rise above these internal divisions, or are its own factions poised to bring it down? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this analysis, please hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to LMX for more deep dives into South African politics and beyond. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.